Okay, I'm sitting here watching an atheist video. I actually learned quite a lot through looking at people who have a different point of view. That's why I watch these things. It's quite interesting for me. But anyway, yeah, I know I haven't brushed my hair today, which is appalling. And so essentially, you've got me like au naturel in my kind of like natural habitat and plumage, namely looking a bit like shit. Really. Okay, I just wanted to discuss a few things because it's more like reminding you the way that the world seems to work. Because like information itself, as I pointed out, is a business. It's an industry. Okay, you can tell this by having a look at my shelves. If you just come over here for a second. Okay, let's just like take a journey down to the bottom of Nick's shelves. We got a book on gluten-free cooking. We've got Alphonse Louis Conson Transcendental Magic. We got a rather adolescent book on World Mysteries, which is not very good. We got more cooking books. We got a tarot book there. All these things are information in every possible way. Okay. We've also got one other thing I need to point out to you, and that's there's a barcode on it. Okay, that is a proof positive that there's more than one reason for it to be there. Okay, is it just there just to pass on information to you? Did this person who wrote this book purely want to pass on information? Not necessarily. They could have like put it all into a blog online. Okay, they could have done it that way, but no, there's a price tag on there. So they wanted to package the information in a manner that would enable not only the dissemination of the information, but also the sale of the information. Okay, so what was the original purpose? Did they actually work really, really hard to get the ideas together and then say, okay, now I want to make some money from this? Or was there actually an intention initially to make money from this? But then you've also got to think about ideas which are sold for other purposes, such as political purposes. All right, so let's say someone goes out there and they come out with all the global warming denialist stuff. Okay, think about it. Like, wonderful, global warming. Global warming is not real. Global warming is not real. Well, of course, global warming is real. The coral is being bleached, the seas are rising, the ocean temperature's going up, weather is getting really rather intolerable. Obviously, I'm English, I'm going to talk about the weather, that's what we do. We don't do anything else apart from drink tea and talk about the weather. That's what it means to be English. Sorry, guys, but we're crap, we're boring. Alright, so why was that information sent out there? So that a industry could have a few more people part of their political collective that will be able to back them up when they want to release tons more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, because those are people who are thinking, I don't care, I'm going to die in 30 or 40 or 50 years' time, so essentially, yeah, I'll just have a great life and to hell with the future after I'm dead. When basically, like, that's a load of shit, because essentially, no matter what, there's always a little bit of you out there in the world, whether it's your ideas or your image or something on the internet or the way that you've influenced someone through something that you've said. After you die, there is still a footprint there. And that's if you don't have children. If you have children, there's your DNA which is going out there into the world. So there's still a bit of you, despite the fact that your experience of consciousness might be over when you die. Then essentially there's still some of you out there. And if you don't have some kind of empathy for that, you're dead inside. Sorry, I'm ranting again, but never mind. I'm rather passionate on that particular subject because I think that we should have feelings for people who aren't yet born, because they are still part of us. All right, they are still part of the whole dynamic of what humanity is about. It's just it's just the way I think. All right, sorry. Anyway, Nick, find your inner calm, find your center. Okay, your peace, your balance, your whatever. Okay, but my whole point there was that information is like spread around the world. All right, and some of that information has been sent out there for a particular purpose, such as to reduce the likelihood that there will be green energy, all right, or to increase the likelihood that a book on gluten-free cookery is going to be sold and some money is going to come to the author and the printer and the bookbinder and the supply chain who provides the ink and of course the retailer and everything else. Okay, so what if some of that information is not actually all that efficient? Okay, and when I say efficient, as in terms of what if that information doesn't actually go out there and fulfill its destiny, right? Its actual destiny of bringing money to the author, or really encouraging the global warming and all that kind of shit. What happens then? Well, that information flows into human consciousness. Right? It's out there. You know, you'll have picked some of this up somewhere along the line. All right, and that may have influenced some of your opinions. Yes, with the passage of time, some of it might get debunked. Like, of course, you can look at the early days of Wicca, when the Wiccan movement, when they used to sell the idea of the 9 million women who died and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't true, was it? And of course, now these days, Wiccans actually admit that it wasn't true. But that idea went out there into the world, and there's still, you know, people out there talking about it and stuff. And oh God, it's crazy. But that's an extreme example. But what about on the other examples, okay? What about anything else you might have picked up from maybe a news article on TV, or something you may have read in the papers, or something you've seen online that's adjusted the way in which you look at stuff? Okay? And this could be something to do with a spiritual exercise, for instance. Okay? Or this could be something to do with an alternative energy device. Okay? These things require looking into rather than believing. Now, as far as like the spiritual experience stuff is concerned, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The only thing that we can actually say is there's a certain type of strange experience that we can have, whether it's seeing little green orbs or whatever it is you're experiencing, or a ghost experience, which is just an experience. All we can say is the experience happens. The experience proves that the experience can happen. It doesn't prove what the experience means. Okay? But all these little bits of spurious pieces of information are out there, and it's making people talk on forums and on chat rooms, and it's making people say this, that, and the other. And then there's some people who want to like alpha up over you, and they turn around to you and they say, do not do this exercise. It is going to be very dangerous. It is going to be really bad for you if it's done out of the wrong intention. You know why they do this? Well, yeah, they are just a bunch of wankers, okay? But they also want to get pleasure from alphaing up over somebody. These are the people who were bullied when they were kids and they're still fighting it inside their own heads. These are the people who have never done well for themselves, never developed any self-esteem, and they then get some pleasure through harming somebody else. And with others, it's actually because they've been born with some kind of desire for sadism. Okay, they've got like the sadistic mentality inside themselves. It's kind of like a personal sickness, and they just enjoy harming people. And a lot of that shit is just there because that's what they are. That's just the kind of things that they say. Now, you need to free yourself from that kind of thinking to be able to see anything which you come across objectively. Now, it's very hard for all of us humans, and that does include me. I'm not putting myself up on a pedestal saying, oh, I've reached a higher level now. Yes, I'm there. You're not, I am, because that would be just as bad anyway. And also it's not true. All right? You know, I still fall prey to having stupid thinking once in a while. Okay? Because I'm human, alright? It's part of the human condition. But if I'm talking about it, then maybe you'll be listening to it, and it will help you to just like think a little bit more about the information you've got inside your own mind. Okay? That's all I wanted to say right now. Alright? Don't believe the hype. Question.